Hello, this is the second video in a series of videos that I'm making about Cascadian fuels. In this video, I want to talk about fuels derived from the Pacific Ocean on the coast of Cascadia. Now, the first thing I would like to talk about is basically you can make so you there's theoretical ways to get electricity from tidal energy, and I think that's very interesting. um to my knowledge, people haven't really used it, but I think it's in development, and the Cascadian people would get lots of renewable electricity from that, as well as like offshore windmills and whatnot, right? But the second thing I would like to talk about, the main thing, is I think that basically I've been thinking about it for a while about how to generate made especially a liquid fuel from the ocean, since the ocean is big and vast, and there's not much to do in it other than like farm bivalves for food. And so I was thinking how to make a liquid fuel from the ocean, but I couldn't think of very much because you can't grow anything with a lot of sugars or starches in the ocean. You can't really grow anything with a lot of oils. Like some people I've read about growing kelp and then heating the kelp up under pressure, and it makes like an oil because the I guess the cell walls of the kelp are very soft and prone to forming this like crude oil kind of thing. But that just seems a little silly to me. But my theory is that you can take renewable electricity sources. So, like, strap like a solar panel to it or something like that. Like, strap a solar panel or a windmill to, especially a solar panel. So it's like it operates during the day, and then it stops at night. But then you strap a solar panel or multiple solar panels to like a lead acid battery or something, and you have this huge rod, or maybe if multiple arms, multiple rods with plankton nets on them. Um, I think you would need at least two, and they these giant plankton nets that the electricity causes them to move around in a circle, but very slowly, to capture plankton from the ocean. So, like, again, it would be, I think it'd be slow so that you wouldn't use much electricity, and it would be maybe like one rotation an hour, or like one rotation every like 10 minutes. I don't know. And so you collect the plankton from the ocean in these plankton nets which already exist, and then um you freaking take the algae. Like at the end of the day, you take a crane powered by the electricity, you prop the net up, and then you can take the algae from the nets and maybe put it into a cart or whatever, and then you process the algae. You get like sugars from it that you can ferment into like ethanol or butanol or whatever, and then you can get a lot that the but the algae, specifically certain kinds of algae, you get a lot of oil out of them, so you can get this high quality biodiesel that you can make from algal oil. You would also obviously get zooplankton, which may or may not have some additional oils. They probably wouldn't have much sugar, but I think ultimately you could take what's left over after you take the oils and the sugars out of the algae, and then maybe it would be a high protein feed for farm animals. And so that protein can help those farm animals grow whatever product they're producing, the meat, the milk, eggs, whatever, right? Um, that's my theory. I don't honestly, I don't know why nobody's talked about this before. At least I haven't read anything about using plankton nets to actually create a harvest. I guess people just don't see plankton as valuable. Um, One problem is you would have to make sure those plankton nets are very well maintained, because if they have a hole, they might not work very well. And at the end of the day, you might end up wasting electricity because um, because ultimately you're spending electricity, a form of fuel, to create a different kind of fuel, which is like biodiesel and ethanol. And you want that to be more profitable at the end of the day. That's the one of the only downsides I can see to this theory, but I really believe that that would work. And I've set up some experiments myself too. I'm going to make a plankton net myself, and then, or maybe buy one, and then I have algae growing in buckets, and I'm going to see if I can actually harvest algae from the buckets. And then, yeah, because I want to try it. But I really think that could work. Just, strap a solar panel to a battery, and a motor, that battery to a motor, and then the motor is extremely high torque motor. Um, and you just push this plankton net around in a circle. You could even skip out the middleman, maybe make a windmill that, instead of generating electricity, the mechanical energy from the wind directly powers the torque of the rods with the plankton nets on it. Or if maybe there's some other way to gather plankton. At the end of the day, I just want to emulate a filter feeder and get all this plankton into one spot so you can process it. If there's a different way to uh, collect plankton, then I'd be open to hearing that. But that's the best idea I can come up with right now. That's my theory. Goodbye.